Hello, family and friends. Today we're going to be looking at some geraniums and I'll be giving you a few care tips. I was about to do a cleanup and install these in a bed, it's for my spring cleanup to get them going, but it was too windy. I wanted to bring you along on that journey with the bed cleanup and install, but it wouldn't have worked. It was just really windy out there, so I decided to bring them inside and give you a few care tips. Now these geraniums are beautiful. This deep red color is just amazing. I mean, we've used them in different places, in pots. We've put them on the steps, going down the side of the house, and in pots by themselves, and also like in pots with other things like potato vines, trailers, and various plants. Beautiful plants. They're drought tolerant and full sun. Now with these plants, you can let the soil dry out between waterings, and they do fine. If you forget to water them, they do just fine. And a lot of plants, while they're wilting in that heat, they handle it. That's one thing that I can say about these. They're very forgiving and just beautiful plants. And when it's time to deadhead, when these blooms are spent, well, unfortunately, we don't have any of the spent blooms, but I could show you here. You just follow this stem all the way down to the growth point down here, all the way down where it meets the stem, and it just snaps off. I was going to take these and put them around a bird bath, and with some stelladoras, and that bed was really a mess. I'll have a clip up here that you'll see, and it was full of weeds, and the stelladoras were nice and lush and coming back for the spring. So I figured that would be the bed to work in so that we could get that color going again. But it was too windy, and I'll have to do that in the next video. But it's going to be a nice transition from a lot of weeds to a final result. We've had these in pots by themselves. I mean, they're standalone plants, And one thing about the geranium, you could put them in a pot with just a trailer, because the leaves, I mean, they already have a little height on them with that bloom. I mean, you could use something tall in the middle, like a sky pencil or a quarter line or something like that. That will give you some height. But the bloom itself is already tall, and the leaves add that fluff to fill out your pot. And the unopened blooms are even interesting. Look how these here look down here, and you can see how some of them are open and some aren't. And over here we have some blooms that haven't opened yet. Even the blooms that aren't open are just as beautiful as the plant itself. I love them. They have that lush, big showy leaves, and the mosquitoes cannot stand them. Can't stand them. One year we had them going down both sides of the steps with some ferns on the entrance, and it was beautiful. We've used them in beds along walkways. They're great for borders, and one of the most drought tolerant flowers that I've ever worked with. And it's amazing how they can hold their beauty in the heat. We've also had them around the bird bath by themselves, even before we had the stelladoras and that red, I mean, just really popped up against that yellow bird bath. It's beautiful. And we've had them in our beds with other plants mixed in. And we've also had them around the bird bath with the white impatiens. Now that was awesome. Now the geraniums are good for beginner gardeners, people that aren't that are very busy and don't really have time to water a lot. Um, they keep mosquitoes away, and I'm gonna go ahead and run down the care tips. You deadhead when the blooms look spent. You can let the soil dry out between watering, and they're drought tolerant. They take 4 to 6 hours of sunlight. Now, even more sunlight if you're in dappled sunlight or indirect light, and they're very drought tolerant. I know I've already said that over and over again, but this is something that really works well with me. And geraniums do really well around trees when you have root competition, and they're good companion plants. They'll grow in pots good with other plants if you have the room for them. They grow by themselves in pots. Great standalone plants along walkways. We've had them around the bird bath and by themselves as small plants and watched them grow and just fill that whole area in. And we also had them around the bird bath with white impatiens. So try some geraniums out. They are awesome flower to use. I wanted to do an install today with them around the bird bath and show you the transformation of a very a very weedy bird bath with plenty of weeds and grass growing in. And on the next video, you'll be able to see the before and after on that. But right now, around that bird bath is a mess. We had a pot up there on top of it, and we may do something different with that. But I'll be glad to take you along to see that. So today was a perfect day to come inside and give you a few care tips, because it was very windy outside, and I know the audio would have been terrible. And yeah, I have a close-up of how the blooms look before they open. I mean, they're fuzzy, and it's a nice ornamental look for the flower before it opens. And we also plan on using different colored geraniums, being more versatile, and I'm really looking forward to it this year. Well, that's going to do it for today. Just a quick video on some care tips until I can get back outside, because it's very windy out there. And I'll be glad to do a video on the bed around the bird bath, and it's gonna be fun. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button, and you can get our videos, and the notification bell lets you know when they're being posted. Enjoy your day.